So you been playing pussy lately or what?
A little bit on certain things, but doing pretty well on other things that have just been taking over the time.
You were telling me about procrastinating.
It's like the worst thing. You were talking about it earlier. Before you get started doing your work, that's the worst part.
Yeah, well, for me, I work at home, and my job is just sitting at the computer typing stuff, and it's not a hard job, and I can do it. You know, I can do it well, but when I'm not doing it, it's the worst thing in the world. And then as soon as I start, it's easy. But it's just that, fuck, I gotta do it. And especially because I've been there a long time, I have a lot of leeway. So sometimes I can put something off. I can have like an indefinite due date on my stuff. So sometimes it'll be, turn it in whenever you want. So then it'll be a whole month where I'm just like, I'm depressed and miserable and upset the whole time because I'm not doing it. And then as soon as I do it, I feel it's easy and I feel great.
Yeah.
But it's just having that, like, you know, sword of Damocles over your head, having that thing just weighing on you where you're like, fuck, I gotta do this thing, but I'm just gonna play video games tonight. Like that. And you don't enjoy the games, you don't enjoy anything because you're like, I know there's this thing I have to do, and you just have to do the shit you have to do or else you'll be miserable. At least I will. You know?
Yeah. True. I mean, I've been doing pretty well though, because I mean, I get up and the only thing I've been sleeping a lot, but I've also been.
Are you depressed?
No, I've been tired. So I've been going out and doing comedy, and then also getting up at like 4 a.m. all the time, and working out, and I've been busy. Like everything's been going. My time management's been really good. You know, like.
Oh, that's good.
Except just when I come home, like I'd rather sleep than study, and so but I've been going places and sitting down and studying. I've been studying at work while I'm standing at the desk.
I've always felt that
What is
fucks
that?
with me though.
That's yours. Wait, this one's yours.
I don't
Sorry,
like
I'm high.
napping. I don't like sleeping at multiple times of the day. If I'm sleeping, I'm sleeping. Then if I'm up, I'm up. But like, if I take a nap, even if I take a 30-minute nap, when I wake up, I want to kill myself. I'm so depressed. Like, I hate having the sleep split up. But does that work for you? Like sleeping 4 hours, then going to work, then coming home and sleeping a couple hours? Like, is that okay for you?
I'm getting like my 8 hours of sleep anyway, because I go to bed early. I'll go to bed early. Comedy nights, it's like if I have a show, I have to make sure I have to come home and I have to take a nap, like at least a couple hours.
Can you sleep? Like, if you go home and you're like, I want to sleep now, I need to sleep, will you fall asleep?
Sometimes. Some other times I just lie there and kind of just like, I just do breathing exercises and like basically meditate. And
That's crazy. Because for me, sleep's always been a battle. It's like something my body just doesn't want to do. And even when I was a kid, when I was in middle school, high school, like at least once or twice a week, I would stay up 24, 48 hours.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't fucking sleep.
I get that like twice a month.
I think it's just my brain. I just have, as soon as I lay down, anytime I'm not actively doing anything, that's when my brain just goes crazy.
Yeah.
So if I'm not, if I'm in the shower, if I'm driving, or if I'm laying down in bed, that's when it's just boo, 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 boo. I have all these ideas, all these things I'm thinking about, like, or I need to watch this, or I need to read this, I need to think about this, and then it's just not going to sleep.
Yeah. I've been writing new jokes, but they've been in the same style. I guess you could say, like, comedically wise, I haven't continued to venture into storytelling like I was like excited about a while ago, but I've been thinking about it a little bit more, and I got some shows tomorrow. I have 2 shows.
Yeah, you were saying you're excited for these shows. Why? Because you said it was at a certain place with.
Oh no, they've
Maddie
been good. They're good shows, and I've been to them just to watch and hang out, and they're
Joe
they're
McNamara
fun.
and Maddie Stew, right?
Joe McNamara and Maddie Stew, yeah, they've been really good friends.
And what's the venue?
It's called Monk's Jazz Club. It's happening.
And you said it's pretty slick.
It's pretty slick, yeah. The venue's nice. It's a nice ambiance, and they set it up, and holds about 50, 60 people in there.
Oh,
and
okay, so it's pretty packed in.
And they pack it in, yeah.
Where do you feel like, because you have a pretty big repertoire, you've been doing this a long time, where do you feel like were the situations, the places, the atmosphere, like what was just the mood or the vibe, the location, where do you think you did your best writing to come up with jokes? Was it bullshitting with the friends? Was it sitting alone? Was it typing? Was it writing out longhand?
when I first started, I was like working restaurant gigs and going to school. So like I had to get stoned before going to school and like be driving to school and being like coming up and just like not listening to the radio or the music and just kind of like thinking thinking about everything and nothing at the same time, like just completely zoned out. And that's just like, that's when I think about it. And then like you remember Taryn, shout out Taryn Tarango. I would text him.
So you like to do it like a conversation, go back and forth with someone?
It's like out of the blue, I'll just send him a setup. And then like, it just like.
Oh, so you send him a setup, he send you a punchline.
Or vice versa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like when he was doing, because he was getting into comedy, he was doing it for a while, so he would send me stuff and I would send him.
No, I've seen him do some sets where he did well. He was funny.
Yeah. He's got a great sense of humor, great writer. Now I just put it in my notes and just, because I haven't talked to him in a while. Last time I saw him was at a wedding. We had a good time.
I feel like for me, what happens is, if I don't write, I don't think.
Yeah.
But when I write, usually I'll sit down and I'll write. I could write for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. And usually when I'm writing, I don't write anything funny. I just write what I'm thinking,
Dude.
What kind of stuff do you want to talk about? What matters to you? What do you think about comedy? But usually like everything I write, it's not funny. Yeah. But if I write, then the rest of the day, as I'm going about my day, kind of like you were saying, then the jokes come to me.
Oh,
but I have to write to get my brain. It's just kind of like telling my brain, let's think about this. While I'm thinking about it, nothing funny will come out. Once I stop and I go about the rest of my business, my brain will be like, okay, we're thinking about this now. And it'll do it subconsciously, and then they come to me after.
Yeah.
But if I don't sit down to write, then it doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I was thinking about it today. Like I'd always just, my like autopilot is to just zone out and just not think. Like
the other thing too, though, is because I know you always talk about me. I sit down at the open mics or the shows. I don't talk to anyone. I just write. Mm-hmm. Part of the reason is because that's like when it's go time and I'm like sweating and I want to shit and I'm like, fuck, I gotta go up. It's gonna suck. I'm scared. And then that's when it's just boo, 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 boo. I think of all these tags and different things.
Okay.
It's almost like my brain's fucking with me because it'll be like 5 minutes before I have to go up and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah. All I suggest is stay and hang, talk to people, make some friends, You know what? I was doing pretty good before my car got stolen. Yeah. Let's talk about that, Matt. That's some Playin Pussy shit right there, dude.
How's that Playin Pussy?
Tell them how you lost your car.
Well, I've lived in Montana and Idaho for the past 20 years. So.
20? Nah, you lived in Fresno.
For the past 4 years, and out there, when you go to the store, you don't take the keys out of the ignition, you leave the car running. Like that's just the way it is. It's cold. No one's gonna fuck with your car. Everyone, so it's just you just leave it on. But I did that here, and someone just hopped in and drove away, and more power to them. They probably should have. I mean, it's there for the taking. So that's what happened.
I want to hear your. I want to hear you tell the story of what happened, though.
So the thing that's really fucked up is, so Nick took off. He was going to be gone for a few days in Corpus Christi to do the show. So it's like, all right. And this was my favorite band going today that's modern, that's still, playing live shows. I looked it up like 4 months ago. When are these guys coming to Austin? Rolling Blackouts, Coastal Fever. And so I bought the ticket. I was fucking stoked. It was pretty expensive, too. But I was like, shit, okay, I got the ticket. I'm down. That was the day of the show is the day Nick left. So I'm on the way to the show. I'm like 5 minutes away from the show. And I'm thinking, I've been a musician my whole life. My ears are fucked up. I got to get some earplugs. Stop at CVS, going to get the earplugs. Leave the phone in the car because I don't want the Bluetooth to disconnect. The
fucking privilege, dude. The privilege. I don't want the Bluetooth to disconnect, right?
And then
I don't have to restart my Bluetooth. Okay, so you walk in, and then how long are you in there for?
I was in there for like 10 minutes because I walked through every single aisle in the store looking for the earplugs.
Dude, that is bizarre to me that you would even think that that's okay to leave your car.
I've been doing it the whole time we've lived here.
Oh my! Oh, fuck.
Because I was just like, to me, I decided, it's not California, you know, it's all good.
That car is across the border right now.
Probably, but anyways, yeah. So they stole my car, and then I came out, and you know, they got my keys, they got my phone, so I had
So what's going through your mind, right, when you walk outside and see that your car is gone?
I was like, yeah.
Did you have earplugs in your hand?
I did, yeah.
That's such a sad image.
I mean, what was going through my mind is, yeah, someone stole it. So I just asked to use the phone, got them to call the cops, and the cops had to take me to. I asked the cop to take me to a hotel because I know I couldn't.
No,
get
but
back.
you didn't have any like panic, anxiety, like.
I was upset. Yeah, I was sad. I guess I was just sad, but I just, you know, I was just like, yeah, someone stole my car. You know, it sucks.
Fuck.
So then, yeah, I went to the hotel, and I had to stay in the hotel a couple days till Nick came and picked me up because I didn't have my keys. So yeah, it sucked.
I called Derek. He said he tried calling your room, but you didn't answer.
My room?
The hotel room.
Oh.
Because I gave him all the information you gave me, and I was like, hey, can you go get Matt? Like,
I didn't get a call, but I had to switch rooms. That's probably why. Because the first room I went into, like when I went to the bathroom, it was just completely flooded. It was a pretty shitty hotel. The whole bathroom was just covered in water. So that first room number I gave you, I went and
you
I was
only
like,
gave me one room number.
I can't stay in this room. I need a different room. They gave me a different room.
Yeah, but the text message you got said 108. The only text message I got with your room number said 108, and that's
I gave you a different one on Instagram.
Did you?
But anyways, yeah, that's what happened. And it was actually pretty chill, though. It was cool. I really enjoyed just... All I had was the TV. And so I was flipping through the channels, and if like something was on, oh, Rocky IV is on. That's dope. I need to watch this. And I really enjoyed watching it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have the phone where like I can see anything I want right now.
It was your only form of entertainment to take you back.
It was all, and then RoboCop was on. I was like, oh, dope, RoboCop. Because like it's when you have the phone, you have or your laptop, you have everything in the world you can watch whenever you want, any podcast, anything.
Yeah.
It's like all I got's this, and so when something
and
cool
they
on,
dictate, and they dictate what.
And when there's 100 channels of like infomercials and fucking sports talk, you know, talk shows, it's just like, okay, RoboCop's on, cool.
Oh yeah, I would watch RoboCop.
But yeah, no, it was. It's really hot here in Austin, and that first night I was like, fuck, I need a drink. Like, this is a rough day.
Yeah.
But of course, the cop sent me to the one hotel where like the closest gas station is 2 miles away, and so I ran there. I ran there in jeans and a shirt. I was so fucking sweaty when I got back. I didn't run back with the case of White Claws, but I was so sweaty. And then it had been 3 days wearing the same clothes. So every time I got back into the hotel, I would take off all my clothes and put them on the bed to let them like try to dry a little bit.
Yeah.
But they were so dank and nasty by the end.
Gross,
and I didn't want to go buy some more clothes, you know?
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
But, you know, it's all good. I got what I deserve.
Yeah.
The good thing is, though, I mean, I'm really blessed, you know? Blessed to deaf. Deaf to, just of deaf, deaf to, fuck, I can't even remember. But the good thing is I work from home. So I finally stopped procrastinating, and I actually got some work done because I can't go anywhere. So
Yeah, good. Hell yeah.
But yeah, where would you assume that we left off? Definitely before you got me that gig, though.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we got you, Matt. We got you a gig. We got you.
My second official gig, but really my first official gig out here.
Yeah. What was the unofficial?
The LOL.
Oh, the open mic.
No. The show.
Oh, the show. LOL. Oh, where was that at?
It's that place with
I haven't been to that one. So that Alex's?
I can't remember the names, but yeah, I did a show there with Casey. But it's that show where it's like there's a bar there, and then there's that little back room, and sometimes people wander in, some people walk out. It didn't feel like a show the way this show did.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nick got me a show at the Green Jay. It was awesome. Mikey and Darian put it on, and it was great, man. That was awesome, and thank you very much for coming.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad I got you on stage. It's been a minute since I got to see you do your thing.
That one felt really good because there was...
I love the Rockstar opener, dude.
Oh, thank you.
The Rockstar opener is great, dude.
There's, well, this probably won't seem like much to most comics around the country, but for me, like, doing comedy mostly in Boise and in Fresno, the fact that I was there and there's 2 or 3 comics from Nashville there, there's comics from Atlanta there, you know, it's comics from LA there, and just, I'm there too.
Yeah.
We're all here, and we came from around the country to be there.
Yeah, it's a very cool feeling.
That was super cool, and I met all of them. They were all very nice, and I did my thing. I tried my best, and a bunch of them came up to me and told me, you know, they really liked it, they appreciated it, they thought it was good, and so that felt awesome. You know?
No, that's great.
It's really cool.
And then that's when instead of leaving right away or going, that's when you hang out and have a water.
I did hang out, and an overweight lawyer came up and talked to me for like 30 minutes. 30
minutes? You let him talk to you? Yeah, you gotta get better at being like, oh man, it's so nice to meet you. And then you're like, excuse me. You gotta get better at like getting the hell out.
Yeah, and he didn't even really like my set that much.
Him to tell you that just for 30 minutes, like, I didn't like your shit. I didn't like it at all.
But that was good. I felt like that was the right time because, man, it's taken me a really long time to recover from COVID. Not COVID, the disease, but just COVID.
What it did to the world.
Just the lockdown and everything, and just what I went through during it. Which so many more people went through way worse shit, but what I went through fucked with me for some reason.
Yeah.
And it was tough because I think I've talked about it on the podcast before, but first, when COVID hit, you know, I was living with 2 roommates. They both lost their jobs, so my rent tripled right then. And my job was DoorDash, so then I had to drive 80 or 90 hours a week to pay for all of our rents.
Yeah.
For like 8 months.
They didn't have cars?
They lost their jobs, but
I mean, they didn't have cars though. They couldn't have got on DoorDash.
I guess they could. I don't know. But there was that, and then I went through a breakup, and then my grandmother and grandfather were both dying, so I moved in with them for 8 months to take care of them and take them to the hospital and all that stuff, and all without comedy, you know, which is my coping mechanism, which is my thing, the thing that helps me feel better. Mm-hmm. So I don't have that for like 18, 20 months, you know, and just working all the time, being alone all the time, which I usually enjoy, but I enjoyed it too much.
Yeah.
Too, and then I coped with doing all kinds of drugs, all kinds of Adderall and drinking and ketamine and acid and everything else, like, and just basically just working and then getting super fucked up afterwards.
Yeah.
For, you know, almost 2 years. And it's taken a long time to just, I guess, become a normal human being again.
Yeah. It's funny because, like, I had just, like, mentally in my mind, like, made the decision to want to move. Like, not knowing where I was going to move. But, like, I was pretty much over where I was at.
So before it hit?
Yeah.
Just like in January of 2020, or you were thinking, I'm going to move?
I was thinking November 19 or something like that. Okay. You know, I was like, man, I want to move. I gotta get some shit. Just gotta get some shit going. And then I ended up getting my DUI, and so that was like, oh fuck, that kind of set me back a bit. But 3 months later, COVID hit. So it was just like, you couldn't do anything. You couldn't go anywhere. You couldn't miss anything. So I basically just finished out like all my DUI stuff like during
so it was
COVID.
Perfect timing for you.
It was like perfect timing. I still had to get the breathalyzer and all that for the car because I had an essential job where I had to drive. But I was like finally ready to like jam. And then by the time I got everything cleared up to where and like I had money saved, I was just like, well, fuck, it's still COVID. I can't go anywhere. Like. And I was like thankful to have a job and pay bills at the time. So because I was working at the auto glass shop and I was like helping like manage the place and I was like in line to take it over but I wanted to leave and then that kind of weighed on me too because it was like I could have had a very comfortable life, like, you know, very comfortable life.
So you could have become the boss there.
Yeah, it was my dad's company and I was like been working there and like taking over, like I was next in line, but at the same time like there was no like.
What was it like? What was the thought process like? How hard was that to say no to all that?
Security, like guaranteed upper middle class for like the rest of my life. Like people break into cars all the time. Like it's not a business that's going anywhere. Even when cars go electric, they're still gonna have windows. You know what I mean? Like But I wasn't like happy being there. Like, you know, I had like, and my dad's like one of those guys where it's like, cause he built it from the ground up. So it's like, you have to be here 40 hours a week. And it's just like, Dad, you need to stop working. My theory or my thinking is like, stop working for the company and work on the company, you know, but he just doesn't have that trust and let anything go, and he likes to micromanage and stuff, and we just didn't go along. And I'd come up with ideas to help like make it more efficient, benefit it, and like he would just like I just took him like a huge list of like 50 things that we could like just implement, and like not saying let's do all of them, and I'm like, these are just different ways that we can like update the fucking telephone systems, like update like our computers, you know, do different stuff, like hire a manager for the shop. And then like as soon as I left, he did it. Like he did everything that I said. I went back to visit, and he had done like everything that I had said, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, like, motherfucker.
What do you think? Why do you think, you know, me and you and all the other comics and, you know, a ton of other people, do you think there are people who are just happy to, I'm just going to start a business or just find a job 9 to 5 and that I could take care of my family and pay my bills and that's good? Do you think, is that normal? Are there a lot of people who they're happy with that? Or do you think it's more normal to be like us, or it's like, no, I want to kind of go for something that's really hard and kind of like a rare possibility that would ever work?
Honestly, I think it's the education system that we were brought up on. Like, it was adopted from the Prussian system, who in Prussia, like, they had like I don't remember the exact years or anything, but if I had to like be quoted, I could look up the term paper I wrote for my philosophy class my last semester of college. It made me realize that education was a joke. But,
Fresno State,
baby. The Prussians like came up with this system to basically like breed followers that would be obedient, you know, and that's basically what the educational system did when the Industrial Revolution happened and public education became a thing. And because they needed to breed like people that were, or needed to like
to work in the factory.
They need factory workers. They were smart enough to work in the factories, but dumb enough to be happy with that life, you know. And you know, that's the whole thing. Like I think we're more normal to what we're supposed to be, trying to go for something. They're doing something that drives us to do that for like a purpose versus, you know, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like you have hobbies and stuff like that, but and like there's a lot of people out there that just they're happy with the 9 to 5 because they can do their hobbies in their off time, and they master their craft and they become amazing, and then that sets them free from their 9 to 5, you know. Hello, Steve.
And I misspoke before because actually starting a business is incredibly difficult, so I didn't mean that.
Yeah.
I think what I meant is like, well, right now I have a good job.
Mm-hmm.
And all the time it's in the back of my head where I'm just like, man, this isn't bad. Yeah. I think that all the time. This isn't bad. I'm so lucky. I've had so much worse jobs. I've done so much harder things in my life. I know what it's like to be dirt fucking poor. This isn't bad.
Yeah.
But that's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's not life.
Yeah. That's true.
It's just not bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm like dirt fucking poor right now for the first time like ever.
You know, for the first time ever.
Yeah, I mean, I've always had like decent jobs. Like I'm because it was like you had to go out and like make money and stuff. But like I'm also like putting a lot of time and that's not spent at work or. So I'm doing a job that's flexible to the life that I want to live. You know, like.
Oh wow! I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, I have a little savings, but I mean, like.
No, I didn't know that you'd never been dirt poor and worked like a shit job before.
I mean, I had shit jobs, but I always had like 2 or 3 of them.
Oh, okay.
You know, like when I was younger, I always had like 2 or 3 jobs. And then I was always selling weed too on the side when I was younger, like, and that's where I made a lot of money, like just my money, so I could just have shit jobs. And it also gave me a lot of freedom though. I've always done that, like back when I was like a degenerate.
That's crazy. No, I've only had shit jobs until I got this one.
Okay.
I've only been dirt poor before this.
Nice.
But no, I do think that all the time. I always think, you know what? If it came down to it, I could just do this. I could play video games, watch TV, and, you know, work 6 or 7 hours a day just in my room, and that's not a bad life.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like that kind of...
But are you really living?
No.
You're not living at all. You don't leave this place.
No, not at all. It's not life. Yeah. Of course not.
You don't ever leave this.
When I'm going out doing comedy, then it feels better.
Yeah.
Of course, I should progress in that, but it's weird. I don't know. For some reason, I
can't say I'm really going out and living life. I'm going out and doing comedy things, and for the most part, like I live here too. Like I go to work.
Oh no, comedy is. I feel like that's enough.
It's enough.
That's more life than most people ever live. It's like more risk taking than I think most people.
Yeah, but that's risk taking. But I'm saying go out and enjoy things. Like go sit someplace or go explore. I don't ever have the urge to just go explore a place. Like we live on Congress, and I've never been to like any of the shops down Congress except for the one place that had a comedy show in it.
Man, there's this really cool occult shop right down the street. I walk past it every day, and I really need to go in there, but they're only open like 12 to 4 and like 3 days a week.
A cult shop?
Yeah, they has like I don't remember his name, but that Egyptian dog god, there's a big statue outside, and they have all this like astrology and like tarot cards. It's like my kind of place. I need to go in there, but I've never found the time to go in. I need to.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I feel like I have these two different things pulling on me. Like sometimes I have this thing pulling on me where it's like you need to go out and find glory and like strive for something and either die trying to achieve it or achieve it, but you need to do that, be ambitious. Then I have this other side of me that's pulling me towards, you got a good life, you got this good job, work hard at the fucking job. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I always feel like I have those two different things.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean that's exactly what I was feeling like, before I moved here.
I guess like, do you want to be comfortable or do you want to live?
Yeah, exactly. And I've been comfortable my whole life living in a town that I was born in, so for like 34 years. So I was like, gotta go out and try something, get out, and I'm happy with my decision. In that aspect, I don't think I was playing pussy. But at the same time, I mean, I still have like a safety net to a degree. Like, I mean, I still own my home in California, I have a renter in there, but if things ever got like really bad, sell the house and then reevaluate my life, like. But then again, like money goes real quick,
It does for sure, and who knows? I mean, probably in 2 years, the money won't be worth a goddamn thing. So it's probably the less money you have, the better.
Yeah,
because you're gonna lose less.
Yeah.
But no, recently, right before my car was stolen, I felt like I was starting to get back in the swing of things and really feel it. Like I felt like I was kind of just figuring out more what I want to do. I think one problem I have is I'm creative, and so I always want to create something new, and I always want to do something new, and I get sick of things really quick, and I don't like repeating myself, and I want to just move on to the next thing and like do something even more creative and even more different every time. Mm-hmm. But that makes it tough to kind of figure out what do you want to do, because at some point you just have to figure out, this is my persona, this is what I want to do, at least for one special,
Yeah.
That's what I would like to do in the future, is each special be absolutely different style of comedy. Mm-hmm. But you kind of have to settle on a persona for that 3 or 4 years while you make that hour,
Yeah.
But I felt like I was starting to get into something where I was like, okay, I like this style I've been doing, and it's like the Rockstar joke. Like, I don't know if did you see my Oprah joke yet? Mm-mm. It's like the Rockstar jokes, and I have this other Oprah joke, and I have a few other jokes where I felt like that was it. That felt good, because it kind of felt like I had figured out a way to kind of mix in my love of fantasy, like George R.R. Martin, and heavy metal into comedy. Like, does that make sense? Like the Rockstar joke, I feel like that's a heavy metal song.
Yeah.
Put into comedy.
Yeah.
And it felt like I was figuring out how to do that, and I would love to make a special of just that stuff.
Yeah.
So that felt good. I felt like I was on the right track. Like, okay, I have a direction, and I have like a way I want to do comedy right now that I feel like I can really sink my teeth into it and not get bored of it,
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've had that same idea, like I think it would be cool to do like the first like thing that gets the first thing, put the first thing out, and then it just all be the one-liners, and then like the next one I just come out and I'm like just telling stories, being me, you know.
But you've been networking a lot.
I mean, I'm meeting a lot of people, and it's nice, and making good friends and good.
So how's that been though, compared to your other experiences in LA and Fresno and other places?
I don't know. I guess it's just that like back then I really didn't do that. I just would like wait for people to hit me up, you know.
So what have you been doing differently here?
I just like, you know, when I see people, I just, you know, if they have a nice, I just like talk to them and just see when they have bookings. And I usually ask like a couple months in advance, like, hey, what do you got going on in this time, you know? And that usually helps out. I feel like I'm a good comic. I don't bomb like on shows, at least, you know. I've had jokes bomb on shows, but I've never had like a really, really bad set, like since I've been here, like on a legitimate show. So, I mean, I feel like show up and deliver and do your job, you know, because you're hired to do a job, so you show up and do your job and to the best of your ability, and then so people have seen it, and I think it's just been a combination of like being personable and also doing my job and being funny and just hanging out, like seeing people and talking. And then I mean, I ask people for shows all the time. If I need stage time, hey man, you got any open spots on any of your upcoming shows in the next couple months? And they usually, let me check the schedule, get back to you. And I'd say about 30% don't respond at all. The other like 70% like usually get back to you. I don't really, if I'm asking someone that I haven't like, that I'm not really close with, you know, I'll send them like a link for like a tape or something, just to be like, oh, this is, you know, I have sent them like just a set 10-minute clip, you know. And then it's funny, it's like all the people that I've hit up and that I've only met once or twice or just seen around, like they never respond, you know. But it's like, but then I've seen those same people in person and then been introduced to them by like another comic, and they're like, you want to do this show? It's like, yeah, sure. They're like, cool, send me a clip. And I was like, oh, check your inbox, I already did.
There's one thing that's been coming up a lot just in the different podcasts I listen to and the different people I kind of look up to. I've been hearing this one thing a lot that really spoke to me, and it isn't like modern wisdom. I think Jocko said something about it and Jordan Peterson, but basically it's like the idea is if you don't know what to do in your life, pick one thing and put all your energy into it and do everything you can for that one thing.
Yeah.
See if you can make that work, and then you can indulge your other interests.
Yeah.
And I think that's been one problem I've had for a long time, because I just always wanted to be everything, you know?
Yeah.
I want to be actor, poet, novelist, musician, comedian, everything. But I think what I need to do is just put it all into comedy. See if I could do well at comedy.
Yeah.
And then if that does well, then go on and try to do the other stuff. Because, you know, I've always been saying, like, oh, I'm going to make this album. I'm going to do this. I'm going to have my YouTube channel. I'm going to have this and that and this and that. But I think what I should really do is just anytime I'm not working or sleeping, like, put that energy into comedy, you know?
Yeah, and, you know, the thing, though, is, like, that's a couple things, too. Because, like you just said, like, your YouTube channel, like, that's all part of it. Starting a business, like, you basically, like, we're in that.
But I should try to make it comedy related, you know?
Oh, no, 100%. It will be comedy. Yeah, you make it comedy related. You like this thing. You get into it. And, like you like post your content. You make stuff. We're doing like this, you know?
Yeah. The other thing I've been dealing with is I'm an extremely judgmental person.
That's awesome. Write them all down. Write them all down. Make them jokes.
But then.
And if it's about a certain person, you know, make notes in your phone with their name, and then write them in there. And if you ever roast battle them, you just have all your jokes already written.
Well, it's strange because I'm an extremely judgmental, mean person, but I'm also very empathetic. My mother, she's like the most empathetic person I've ever met. She could cry at a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. She could cry at a commercial. Like, she just is always ready to cry and feels everything. And I'm pretty much the same way. So, like, I'll be at an open mic and I'll see someone doing terribly and I'll think all these mean things about them, and then I'll want to cry because I'm like, damn, that's so fucking mean. If they ever heard me say this, like, it would break my heart to say that to them.
That's when you get on stage right after them and just say it.
But that's something that I've been meditating a lot more, and I've just been trying to get to the point where when I'm thinking things I don't want to think, like things that make me ashamed of myself, I try to do that meditation technique of just saying, like, you're thinking, you know?
Yeah.
You're lost in thought.
Yeah, write those things down. Tell them on stage.
Do you deal with that, though?
Dude, I don't think at all. Like, I don't think at all, dude. I'm in autopilot all the time.
What do you mean, though? Like, if that's true, I'm seriously jealous of you. I mean, then you're Buddha, basically.
Yeah, it's just like my stepdad was the type of dude that, like, if he taught you to do something, like, and like taught us how to, or showed you how to do something, and like let's say cleaning the house, like a certain way of like vacuuming the floor, like so the lines are perfect, but like I could do it faster if I do it a different way. And it's like not the perfect straight lines, but it's a different way. And or like for example, like he'd be like, why didn't you do this right? And he's like, well, I thought I could do it this way and get done fast. He's like, I didn't tell you to think. Like, I heard that from my stepdad growing up, like, all the time. And then like we'd have like hours and hours of chores every day. Like, I'd get home from school and I'd have like minimum 2.5 hours worth of chores before I could even start my homework.
Wow.
And so like I wouldn't do my homework because I still wanted to go out and skateboard or do other things, you know? So I mean, like, but then like while we're doing the process of doing these chores, it's just like, it's so boring. It's just cleaning is just like a meaningless or just a zone out task because it's just autopilot. You just pick up, dust all the knickknacks, and they had 1 million fucking knickknacks. And it's just like, I remember like, so I think I still remember my schedule. So my schedule was like Mondays I would have to dust the entire house. We had a fucking 5,000 square foot or 3,000 square foot house, like a big ass fucking 6-bedroom house, and like a 6-car garage attached to it. Monday I'd have to dust the house, dust the cars off in the garage, vacuum on Tuesdays and Thursdays, bring in firewood, clean the bathrooms, clean up the dog shit, feed the dogs, clean out the wood burning stove.
Wow, clean the wood burning stove. That must have been
like,
a bitch.
Dig it out and like take it out. It was such a pain in the ass. On and then like mow and weed the yard, and we lived on 2 acres.
Ooh.
And it was like,
you have a riding mower?
We had a riding mower, but we had like hula hose to like go through and hula hoe and pull all the weeds, like, and get them out of like the dirt flower beds. Because my stepdad was like a huge perfectionist, you know, edge everything, water, like. And after all that shit was done, like, then we could do our homework. And then like, so it was just like, we'd always like try and get stuff done faster. And my dad would just be like, you know, like we'd get in trouble or something, like like, oh, well, as soon as we would say like, oh, I thought, and like, he'd be like, I didn't tell you to think. And it's just like, that was just been instilled in me. So like, I'd be hula hoeing weeds and just be like, just completely zoned out, focused on the task. Like, so that's why I like to enjoy art and painting, because like, if we get in trouble, we get grounded, and the only thing you could do is go in a room, like, no TV. He's like, you're grounded, no TV, like, da-da-da-da. So all I could do is like draw and do art, and so you just zone out and just do whatever you want, and it passes the time.
Do you feel like that makes you happier? Because, you know, in the Buddhist philosophy, it's basically do that and you'll not necessarily be happy, but that's basically the only way to live. You know,
I get that, but I mean, I'm still also like self-centered human being. So I like, when I am thinking, it's most of the time it's about like just anxieties and stuff like that, or just thinking about myself or what's going on in my head, or just thinking funny things or jokes. You know, it's like I've no desire to like watch the news or stay up with like modern affairs. Like, if it's not, like, I noticed during pandemic I got off, like I deleted all my social media for like good 6 months, and like I actually really enjoyed that. But then as soon as comedy came back and I needed to have social media, I had to like restart it, which kind of sucked because I had to like start from zero again. But at the same time,
how did you feel? How did that affect you? What was the difference between not having it and having it?
Had my routine down. Like, I mean, I was just more. I would talk to more of my friends, I guess. Like reach out a little bit more and like actually talk to people and text people on the phone. But at the same time, we were locked down. That's all you could do. You couldn't see anybody. You had to do all that. So it's hard to say, But at the same time, like, it was just nice not being on my. It definitely stopped me from being on my phone as much. It also definitely it definitely showed you like who's important, who calls, like checks on you. Like that's what pandemic did. Like I had people calling me that I hadn't, like from high school that I hadn't really talked to in a long time. But it's just like, but there are those friends that you could be like, hey man. Every time you see it, it's just like you never left, They're out doing their life, you're out doing your life. And you'll always be friends, but necessarily just don't see each other, talk to each other all that much. There's a few friends like that, Same thing with you. It's like when you moved away to Montana and shit, it was like we didn't talk all the time. We didn't talk every day, but it's just like every time we when you would visit or something, it was just like pick up where we left off. Same thing when we call. It's like, oh, what's up, dude? Tell me everything that's happened in the last 6 months. All right, bye.
But when you're...
I got cotton mouth. I'm going to take a sip of your wine.
Yeah, you can have it. Do you feel like...
drunk over here?
I'm good, man. You can have it. But do you feel like... Can you sense a difference? Because you said most of the time you're not thinking at all. Would you say you're less happy when you do start thinking? Are you enjoying your life more in those times when you're not thinking?
Yeah, probably. Because if I'm not thinking, then when I start thinking, I have an anxiety about how I'm like not either. If I'm like procrastinating, not doing anything, it's like I'll just sit there and not think and just chill out and take naps and sleep and, but just going through life, just like kind of like an autopilot. Like I don't trip out about like my sets too much, like I'll put the effort into thinking about like arranging like my set list, but then like I just the jokes, you're gonna do your thing. Like, I don't even try and like memorize them because it's just like you've already written them down, like the general area you want to go. And I always have my phone like just if I needed it, like, and when I do shows, like, you just set your phone down and just keep the screen on and just walk by, grab a water, take a glance.
Damn, that's crazy, man. Good. Yeah, I meditate just about every day, and I think I probably have about 45 seconds a day when I'm not thinking. If I'm doing really well at my meditation.
Yeah, dude, that's where like my joke comes from. It's like I don't know if I'm retarded or just really good at meditation, dude. Because I seriously sit there and I just like zone out. I'm like,
it's beautiful that you're in nirvana.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Buddha nature.
Yeah.
For me, do you have a conversation going on in your head?
All the time.
Because for me...
And that guy's mean. That guy's mean. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? That guy upstairs, it's a fucking dick. Woo! The man I'd be if he was in charge, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, just fucking ruthless. Just no empathy. Just straight going around, just being an alpha male. Like, aggro as fuck.
Are you an alpha male?
I'm just a male. Cis-gendered male. White male.
No, what was it?
I just don't have that.
Well, the thing about being an alpha male, if you're an alpha male, it means you need males to lead. So an alpha male isn't happy unless he has betas and other types of males around that he can boss around.
Oh yeah, see, no, I don't really give a shit about bossing people around.
The sigma male is the male who's happy just being on his own and doing his own thing, and not being a part of like a male hierarchy.
Yeah, that's probably me.
And then the beta, he needs an alpha male.
Yeah.
That's like where he gets all of his worth and happiness from, is serving the alpha male. Like being his lieutenant, basically.
Okay.
Kind of like in that show we were watching earlier today. There's the mob boss, and he always has his right-hand man.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of like in The Wire. You haven't seen The Wire yet.
I haven't.
There's this character named Omar, and he goes around and robs all the gangsters.
Oh, okay.
So Omar's the sigma male, and then in the gang, there's an alpha male who's the boss. Then he has his lieutenant. That's the beta.
Okay.
But anyways, what was it? There was something I was gonna say. Oh, when I'm thinking, sometimes I just think like a thought pops up or a picture or a sound pops up, but usually I think in conversations. So I think, and it's weird too, because I feel like I can't control it, and it feels like it kind of comes out of nowhere. But if I'm hearing a song, I'll think, okay, I'm having a conversation with my old buddy Brandon from high school, and I'm talking to him about the song. What am I telling him about the song? What does he think about it? And then I'll have like an hour-long conversation with Brandon, who's not there, and then I'll get pissed off at him. Like, what the fuck you don't like? Like, why don't you like it?
Yeah, that's funny. I like that.
But that's usually how my brain works. It's like I'm having a conversation with someone who isn't there, and then I'll think about like all these other people who aren't there and what are they thinking about this thing, and then it's like me thinking about what they think about it, and it's awful. It's hell on earth.
Well, on that note,
this has been Playin Wine with Pussies and Coffee. I'm Nick, and this is Matt.
thanks for stopping by.
Playin Pussy.